What if the secret to living to 100 is not hidden in a laboratory, not locked inside an expensive supplement, but resting quietly on a simple plate? Imagine a physician who has spent nearly a century observing human bodies rise, struggle, heal, and endure. Over decades of practice, patterns become clear. The people who live longest are not chasing extremes, they are practicing consistency. They are eating with rhythm, with restraint, and with deep respect for the body's design. In Japan, longevity is not treated as a miracle, but as a cultural habit. The foundation begins with simplicity, modest portions, whole ingredients, and meals built around plants and the sea. Daily consumption of vegetables, especially leafy greens, sea vegetables, and root crops, provides fiber, minerals, and phytonutrients that protect cells from oxidative stress. These compounds act like silent guardians, reducing inflammation and supporting the immune system without dramatic intervention. The aging body thrives not on excess, but on balance. Fermented foods hold a quiet but powerful role. Miso, natto, and fermented vegetables nourish the gut microbiome, that intricate ecosystem within us that shapes immunity, digestion, and even mood. Modern science now confirms what tradition practiced intuitively. A diverse microbiome strengthens resilience. When beneficial bacteria flourish, inflammation decreases, nutrient absorption improves, and metabolic stability follows. Longevity is not only about the heart or the brain, it is about the harmony between trillions of microscopic partners inside us. Fish, particularly small, oily fish, appear frequently in long-lived populations. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, they support vascular flexibility and reduce chronic inflammation. The heart beats more efficiently, the blood flows more smoothly, the brain retains clarity. Combined with moderate portions of rice and minimal processed sugar, this dietary pattern avoids extreme glucose spikes while still providing sustainable energy. Stability becomes the guiding principle. Steady blood sugar, steady weight, steady cellular repair. And perhaps the most overlooked principle is mindful moderation. Eating until one is satisfied but not full reduces metabolic strain. Calorie moderation gently activates cellular repair pathways that enhance longevity. The body, when not overloaded, directs energy toward maintenance and regeneration rather than constant digestion. Paired with daily movement, social connection, and a sense of purpose, these simple foods become part of a larger philosophy. Nourish consistently, avoid excess, and respect the body's capacity to heal when given the right environment. Daily consumption of plant-based whole foods creates a biological environment that favors protection rather than deterioration. Vegetables, legumes, sea plants, and seasonal fruits contain thousands of naturally occurring compounds that quietly defend the body at the cellular level. These compounds, often called antioxidants and phytonutrients, help neutralize oxidative stress, a process that accelerates aging when free radicals accumulate faster than the body can manage them. Oxidative stress is not dramatic or visible, yet over decades it contributes to stiff arteries, cognitive decline, and weakened immunity. The steady presence of colorful plant foods acts like a buffering system, absorbing this stress before it disrupts delicate cellular machinery. Fiber, abundant in whole plant foods, plays an equally profound role. It regulates digestion, supports stable blood sugar, and nourishes beneficial gut bacteria that influence inflammation throughout the body. When fiber is consumed daily, cholesterol metabolism improves and toxins are eliminated more efficiently. The liver functions with greater clarity, and the bloodstream carries fewer inflammatory signals. This steady regulation reduces the burden placed on the cardiovascular system and preserves vascular elasticity over time. Leafy greens provide magnesium and folate, supporting nerve conduction and cellular repair. Cruciferous vegetables assist detoxification pathways that help the body process environmental and metabolic waste. Root vegetables offer steady energy without dramatic glucose spikes. Legumes supply plant-based protein alongside slow-digesting carbohydrates that stabilize metabolism rather than overwhelm it. The power of plant-based whole foods does not lie in intensity, but in repetition. When eaten daily, they create a protective rhythm that reinforces immune vigilance, steadiness of metabolic rhythm, and vascular health. Over decades, this consistency shapes the internal terrain in subtle but measurable ways, allowing cells to function with resilience and reducing the silent inflammatory currents that often accompany aging. Inside the human digestive system lives a vast and intricate ecosystem composed of trillions of microorganisms. This internal community, known as the gut microbiome, influences far more than digestion alone. It communicates with the immune system, produces certain vitamins, regulates inflammation, and even sends signals that affect mood and cognition. As we age, the diversity of this microbial population can decline, especially when diets become overly processed or lacking in fermented and fiber-rich foods. A less diverse microbiome is often associated with increased inflammation and reduced metabolic flexibility, both of which influence longevity. Fermented foods introduce beneficial bacteria and bioactive compounds that help restore balance within this ecosystem. Traditional foods such as miso, natto, fermented vegetables, and unsweetened yogurt contain living cultures that support microbial diversity. These organisms do not simply pass through the body, they interact with existing bacteria, strengthening beneficial strains and discouraging harmful overgrowth. This dynamic balance reduces inflammatory signaling in the gut lining and strengthens the intestinal barrier, preventing unwanted substances from entering the bloodstream. When the gut barrier functions well, immune responses become more regulated. Chronic low-grade inflammation decreases, and nutrient absorption improves. Certain fermented foods also contain enzymes that aid digestion, reducing strain on the stomach and pancreas. Over time, a resilient microbiome contributes to steadier blood sugar control, improved lipid metabolism, and more stable energy levels. The influence of fermented foods is subtle but cumulative. Consumed regularly in modest amounts, they nurture internal harmony rather than forcing change. This quiet restoration of microbial balance strengthens resilience from within, allowing the body's regulatory systems to function with greater precision and supporting the long arc of health that defines true longevity. Omega-3 fatty acids, abundant in small oily fish such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel, play a profound role in supporting longevity, particularly for seniors. These essential fats are called essential because the body cannot produce them on its own. They must come from the diet. Once consumed, omega-3s integrate into cell membranes throughout the body, increasing flexibility and improving communication between cells. This cellular fluidity enhances the function of the heart, brain, and vascular system, which are critical areas of concern as we age. In the cardiovascular system, omega-3s help maintain the elasticity of blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and support optimal blood flow. Arterial stiffness, which naturally increases with age, can be mitigated by these healthy fats, allowing the heart to pump efficiently with less strain. This steady flow of oxygen-rich blood nourishes organs and tissues, supporting energy production, tissue repair, and overall resilience. The brain also benefits from regular intake of omega-3s. DHA, a specific type of omega-3, accumulates in neural tissue, supporting memory, focus, and cognitive clarity. This nutrient can help protect against the subtle cognitive decline that often accompanies aging, maintaining mental sharpness even into advanced years. Omega-3s also influence neurotransmitter balance and reduce low-grade inflammation in neural pathways, enhancing mood and stress resilience. In addition, omega-3s have systemic anti-inflammatory effects that protect joints, reduce muscle soreness, and support immune regulation. This combination of cardiovascular, neurological, and anti-inflammatory benefits makes these fats a cornerstone of longevity-focused nutrition. When included consistently in the daily diet, omega-3-rich fish support the body's natural repair mechanisms, enhance circulation, and provide a steady source of energy that integrates seamlessly with the broader nutritional strategy of plant-based and fermented foods for optimal health after 60. Moderation in portion size and caloric intake is one of the most overlooked strategies for promoting longevity, yet it exerts a profound influence on cellular health. As we age, the body's metabolic systems become more sensitive to overfeeding. Large meals, frequent snacking, or excessive caloric intake can overwhelm digestive organs, spike blood sugar, and increase insulin demands, creating subtle but chronic stress on cells and tissues. Over time, this metabolic strain contributes to inflammation, oxidative stress, and even accelerated aging at the cellular level. By practicing balanced portions, the body is allowed to process nutrients efficiently without triggering extreme biochemical fluctuations that can damage tissues over decades. Moderate caloric intake also activates natural repair pathways within the body. One such pathway is autophagy, the cellular process of cleaning out damaged components and recycling them for energy and repair. Autophagy functions optimally when the body is not constantly overloaded with energy from large meals. Similarly, moderate eating reduces the continuous stimulation of mTOR, a nutrient-sensing pathway that, when overactivated, accelerates cellular aging and inflammation. By eating thoughtfully and avoiding excessive portions, seniors can promote these intrinsic repair mechanisms, allowing cells to regenerate efficiently and maintain resilience. Balanced portions also influence hormonal health. Digestive hormones, such as ghrelin, leptin, and insulin, operate more effectively when meals are neither excessive nor deficient. Stable hormone signaling improves energy regulation, appetite control, and nutrient utilization. Seniors who consistently apply portion awareness often experience improved satiety, reduced cravings, and better energy balance throughout the day. In this way, moderation is not deprivation. It is a powerful tool for optimizing metabolism, supporting cellular repair, and extending the natural vitality of the body. Each meal, when approached with care and mindful portioning, becomes an opportunity to reinforce metabolic stability and long-term health. Longevity emerges not from dramatic interventions or isolated superfoods, but from consistency and harmony in daily habits. Dietary patterns that are repeated over decades create an internal environment where cells, organs, and systems can function optimally. This principle emphasizes the quiet power of routine, where the cumulative effects of small, deliberate choices outweigh occasional extremes. For seniors, consistency in eating whole, nutrient-dense foods stabilizes metabolism, reduces inflammation, and supports cardiovascular and cognitive function over time. When meals are predictable in quality and composition, the body can allocate energy toward repair and regeneration rather than constant adaptation to sudden spikes or deficits. Lifestyle harmony extends beyond diet, intertwining nutrition with movement, sleep, stress management, and social connection. Physical activity, even light daily movement, enhances circulation, strengthens muscles, and maintains flexibility, complementing the effects of nutrient-rich foods. Sleep allows for hormonal regulation and cellular repair, reinforcing the benefits of mindful nutrition. Stress reduction practices, from meditation to purposeful hobbies, reduce chronic cortisol exposure, which otherwise can compromise immune function and promote metabolic imbalance. Together, these elements create a rhythm that allows the body to operate in balance rather than in reactive survival mode. The principle of consistency also fosters psychological resilience. Repeatedly choosing healthful foods, engaging in gentle movement, and maintaining structured routines builds confidence and reduces decision fatigue, which can otherwise lead to impulsive choices detrimental to longevity. Over years, these patterns cultivate an internal environment of stability, allowing natural repair processes to proceed efficiently. The body becomes more resilient to minor stresses, inflammation is minimized, and energy is sustained. In this way, longevity is not about rare interventions or extreme diets, but about the steady, thoughtful integration of nourishing foods and supportive lifestyle practices, creating an enduring foundation for health and vitality that accumulates quietly but powerfully over time.